It's Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports, and it's presented by EA Sports. It's the Buccaneers and the Vikings. All that and more coming up next.
Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
The ball on the tee, we're set for football. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. This taken in at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Under center for the Vikings, out comes the former Michigan State Spartan and longtime veteran Kirk Cousins.
Not bad for a fourth-round draft pick. Well over 100 career starts now. And the chemistry with his top targets, really on point. They spend a lot of time in practice and after practice making sure the routes are run well, and he knows exactly where they're going to be on the field. And when they get open, he delivers.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run it again with Cook. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. It was just 3rd down and short, but he bit off a little extra.
I would say way more than he could chew, but he chewed up all that yardage in a big way. And that, to me, that was a combination of offensive line, stacked defense, and they handled it. Okay, they got the leverage, they got the blocking angles, and opened up a nice crease. And once you get past that first wave, there's room to roam.
Yeah, that's just the 3rd play from scrimmage. They wanted to avoid that 3-and-out. They did. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. And this nearly an interception right off the bat. An early crisis averted as that winds up incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
On 2nd and 10, Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Cousins now. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Osborne. And he will have a Vikings first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
They'll throw again. Cousins. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Over the middle, complete. That's Osborne. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
On 2nd down, Cook. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. They run again on 1st down, Cook. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Levante David in on the tackle. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on 1st.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down, Cousins. Being chased out left. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
4th down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph for Minnesota. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Joseph is good, and the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. And all in all, a pretty decent opening drive, Charles. Pretty balanced. They had the passing game going and the rushing attack, too.
I would think they have to be happy with that start because you get your ground game going, which means your offensive line and your runners are pretty happy, and then you get your aerial attack going as well, so your quarterback and receivers have smiles on their faces. Now both up to speed, awaiting their next possessions for this game. They can't wait to get started again.
Joseph now to kick this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. They will be led out by the Heisman Trophy winner from 2018 from Oklahoma, Baker Mayfield.
And he's a guy who plays with a lot of emotion. He's learned how to channel it really positively, because when he throws the football downfield and makes a big play, he'll be the first guy downfield to celebrate with you. But also, when his team needs that confidence, when they need that jolt, they turn to him, and he's ready to provide it.
Mayfield on first down. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A first carry for the Fordham Ram, Chase Edmonds. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Mayfield looks to throw. Throw left side complete. That's White. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Mayfield now. On the sideline, did he keep his feet in bounds? They say yes. Great job, both feet in, first down. A 3rd down conversion with a strong gain of 14. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch, maybe you move some motion, maybe you put him on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. Mayfield now looking to throw on first down. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. 2 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. They should have got more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call, because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And 3rd and 8 now. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. And again, it's Mayfield. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 31-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
They will run for the first time here with White to the 27-yard line.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
From the 27, Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and 3rd and 1 now. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White, and he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, he finds Godwin, complete. And the Bucs are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
Here's White. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Rashad White taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Buccaneers have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 down, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. And the Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
Yeah, maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. They start the drive with Cook. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Off the play fake, Cousins. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up 2nd down.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
So 1 first down on that drive, and that's it. Forced to take the deep shot on 3rd down and couldn't hit it. Now they have to punt this one away.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their 2nd drive. Well, the offense coming back out here, plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
They'll start on the ground with Edmonds. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Now Mayfield. Dancing to his left. And he'll just get rid of it.
So sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary. Followed him in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. To throw, Mayfield. And this is going to be incomplete.
Partner, we've got ourselves a ball game, and those guys on defense, they came to play. Slipped up on their first series, but they're definitely settling in now and letting it be known the points won't come so easy again.
4th down, so Jake Camarda is out there. Back deep, Brandon Powell. Taken from just outside the 30. That'll be a 43-yard punt, but a net of just 33 following a 10-yard return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And the Vikings now heading onto the field.
Let's go now, let's go.
They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Oh, nice move at midfield. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 51 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
First down, here's Cousins. This one caught by his tight end, Oliver. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. Cousins gives way to Cook. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Cook again. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. To throw is Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky there, able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This officially a 55-yard attempt, and he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
Joseph now to kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. first and 10, Mayfield. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Mayfield to throw it. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Now they face a third and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Mayfield. And that's incomplete. Jake Camarda sent on now to punt this away. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Oh, the return is Powell. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And it will be Vikings ball, first and 10. Dalvin Cook taking the field for the Vikings' next possession. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? And he'll be brought down to the other side of midfield at the 43.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Coming in to put a lick on him was Levante David.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up second and 12. Cousins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on third down. Throwing is Cousins. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Osborne. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Cousins on first down. And that's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. They run the counter with Cook. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
That's right, dog. Gotta have it, baby. We gotta have it. It's all like popcorn. It's showtime, baby. It's all like popcorn. I bet you want, boys. Let's do it. Let's get ready, bro.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On 2nd and goal, Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are once again back in front.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and that'll make this a 6-point game. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Fields it right around the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. A first down throw for Mayfield. That's out to the flat for Edmonds. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line is, no matter how much you try to protect it, these guys are pretty good at finding ways to knock it out.
They gotta walk that dog, baby. He's supposed to catch that, baby. That's how we eat.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. And complete right side to Cook. So that'll be no better than an incompletion, and it's 2nd down. Now, they couldn't get anything going there out on the right side in the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Cousins to Jefferson on the slant. Touchdown, Vikings! Kirk Cousins on the connection to Justin Jefferson. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Great field position has to be one of the best friends an offense can have. When you don't have very far to go, you should cash it in with points.
Joseph now to add the PAT. And the lead is now 13. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Running back Chase Edmonds gets set to start this next series. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? First down, Mayfield. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. To throw again on second down. Mayfield. His throw incomplete. Intended target on that one, Russell Gage. And it's third down.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
The Bucs on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Mayfield. He's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Powell on the return. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's in his zone, second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Cook up the gut. And they'll hold him to 3 there as he takes this up to the 47.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
On third down, Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll be tackled after a gain of 4, still 3 yards short. Fourth down.
Yeah, and on third down, you know those pass rushers, they're in the starter's block. They're just waiting for the pistol to fire. You can almost hear the defensive coaches on the sideline pre-snap. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Really good job there of identifying it and making the play to force fourth down.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll kick it away for the second time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And some room to work. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Throwing, Mayfield. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Mayfield now. And a little floater there is incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a third and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Steps away to his left. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up fourth down.
Here's Jake Camarda now. Taken in at the 22. We'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And it will be first and 10 as they take over. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. Cousins and the Vikings with a first and 10, just shy of the 30. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On second and 7, Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he goes out right around the 39. 7 yards there and a first down. Cousins now. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to bring up second down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Looking to throw again on second down. Cousins. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Vita Vea breaking through to get the sack. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage. Well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd down, here's a run by Cook. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning. The drive starts with a run by White, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Second and 8 coming up. Mayfield looks to throw. The pass is caught by Cade Otton. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Mayfield on 1st down. Airing this one out for Evans. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Now Mayfield. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. To throw, Mayfield. Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Nice job escaping the pocket. And boy, he took the shot downfield towards the end zone, didn't he? Trying to go for 6. It just wasn't there against that coverage. They were ready to prevent the big play.
Chase McLaughlin now for the field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Vikings going to take over now late in this first half. Already enjoying a 2-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half. KJ Osborne, the one he was looking for. But it'll be second down. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
So we've reached halftime here in Minnesota with the Vikings on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, let's take a look at the next-gen stats from the first half for the BUCS. And despite the fact that they're looking up at a double-digit deficit at halftime, they were able to move the football through the air in those first 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they too didn't throw the ball as well as they would have liked. And I think both teams would say there's room for improvement in the second half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. So this a two-possession ball game as we get back underway, set for the third quarter. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
And he'll get a few yards here to the 34.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
I know for us it's fun, and it's not so much fun for the rookie receivers when we see them coming into the league and we're going to training camps. You see them working on getting 2 feet down instead of 1. But the best ones train in college trying to get 2 down instead of 1, so the transition's a little bit less. In this case, though, wasn't able to complete it anyway.
And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it'll be 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And Cook has it, left side. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 94 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. Toward the sideline, he will have the 1st down. Good catch. He was able to keep the feet in bounds. And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down in bounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Hey, what we got? Here we go. Get something together. Let's go, baby. Let's have some fun.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Up the middle, it's Cook. Able to avoid him at the 40. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Play action now. Cousins. And he'll just get rid of it. They tried the throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Cousins. Got an open man, finding Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. Open man is Osborne. He's got him. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. They'll try the middle with Cook. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
First down, here's Cousins. And this will be incomplete.
Their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They go play action. Cousins. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down. Off the play fake, Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. And the Bucs are going to have it here just past the 25. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw it. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
On 2nd down, they'll run with White, and he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 40 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. 2nd
and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
Not ahead of you, baby. I see you over there. You scared?
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. From the gun, Mayfield. He's got Otten. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Here's Mayfield. This is caught by Evans. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 25-yard line. A nice pickup of 17 yards.
It's a nice one slant route. And what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll run on 1st down, Edmonds. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
2nd and 10. Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Mayfield now. They'll get this underneath to Edmonds. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Throwing, Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Chase McLaughlin now for the field goal try. He hit his first, this one from 38. And his kick is good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air.
Kenny Nwangu now out of his end zone.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession as this offense takes the field against CD. Remember, last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half.
Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Cousins again.
Throw caught there by Osborne.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. To throw is Cousins.
And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Bucs will get ready to go on offense.
Mike Evans of the Tampa offense about to set up shop.
And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Past the 20 for a short gain, 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Opting to run again here with White. Good footwork at the 30. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 15 yards as Tampa Bay picks up the first. They had 3 tight ends in on that set, and they were really good at blocking for their running back.
And give them a lot of credit because in football nowadays, tight ends coming out of college often don't block very often. These guys have really developed into superior blockers, and that's why they use them in this formation so often.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll go up the middle with White. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter. Second and 7. Mayfield looks to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Now Mayfield. On the screen, this is Edmonds. And they'll get him down at the 34, and he's going to be short of the first by a few yards. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down, they just said, we've got faith in our tackles. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Desperation time. Mayfield on 4th down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers 1st down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Oh, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. A new lease on life after the 4th down conversion. Here's 1st and 10. They run straight ahead here with White. Oh, look at the juke. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 80 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. To throw, Mayfield. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. So the completion good for just 3. And that will bring up 2nd down.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mayfield. That's out to the flat for Edmonds. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Forced out to his left. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. That has to feel like a very unsatisfying drive, right? You move the ball all that way, and then you can't convert on 3rd down.
But it was satisfying up until that point. Almost like a great movie, and then the film cuts out before the big ending.
Fourth down, Mayfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
On play action, Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A big play there on the catch and run. 52 yards. Boy, Dalvin Cook just so explosive in the open field. He's not a small guy either, but once he gets those legs churning, look out.
And we talk so much from a defensive perspective about scheming and finding ways to take away the run. That means the offense has to devise different ways to get the ball in the hands of their guy out of the backfield. Find open space, let him run, and big things can happen, and they did right there.
So forget about being backed up. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way across midfield. Meanwhile, Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Cousins to throw it. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. Well, it's been a little bit of feast or famine because he's thrown for decent yardage, and obviously they've got the lead, Charles, but now he's been sacked 4 times.
And what I'm focusing on is his toughness in the pocket. Because you mentioned the feast or famine part. He's played well in between being dumped on his back. But every time he's had a chance to throw the football, he's been impressive.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. A give. This is Cook. They get just a yard back there, and now they'll be looking at a tough 3rd and 15.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to make it a 2-score game.
Joseph's got it.
And that will extend their lead even further.
So that CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
Joseph now to kick this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
So out come the Bucs now.
And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
Let's go now, let's go.
It'll be Edmonds to begin the drive.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Mayfield. And this one caught downfield by Evans.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
A gain of 28 yards there to give him the first down.
The drive here was definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Mayfield to throw it.
He's going to have the hook up to Gage.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down.
Working out of the gun,
Mayfield completes it again to Gage. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Mayfield on first down. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
Meanwhile, Mayfield's throw taken in by Evans here. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
This one taken in by Otten.
It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Second and 5 from the 8.
Going to the air again with Mayfield. And it's caught. That play gets them 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal.
White, touchdown, Buccaneers. So the first drive ended in 3. This time they take it down and punch it in the end zone.
So that first drive felt like they were just gathering knowledge, didn't it? Just enough to kick the field goal on the first one. And the second time they put it all together and got it all the way to the end zone.
McLaughlin for the extra point. And the lead is down to a field goal now. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all.
And it was Rachaad White who wrapped the drive up with a touchdown run.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Taken at about the 1. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
And now out comes Minnesota.
And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very close game. You're in the 4th quarter. Defensively, they've got all 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
So the chess match really ramps up, doesn't it? Because in these situations, what do? Do you run the ball and kill the clock here? Or do you try and bury them with another score? And how about defensively? Do you use your timeouts at the earliest opportunity? Or wait till you hit the 2-minute warning? So there's a lot going into this one. Let's see how each side goes about their strategy.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Cousins now. That is into the hands of Hockenson downfield. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That goes for a gain of 31.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Cousins. Throw caught there by Osborne. And the tackle going to be made at the 38. Right there, he rose to the occasion late in a close game.
It's something he thought about, dreamed about, and worked on throughout his career. Because in these types of situations, he wasn't going to allow extra coverage to keep him from getting the football.
From the 38, Cousins. To the sideline, and that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. A first down run, not going to get them a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. They run it again with Cook. And some space here. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Cousins gives way to Cook. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Handoff comes to Cook. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Fourth down, Cousins. And he's across for the late touchdown. And in the final seconds, that one should just about put a capper on this game.
And that touchdown, Charles, with very little time remaining, boy, it just sucked any energy and momentum out of the other sideline.
Yeah, take an incredible comeback in the final minute to bring this one back to even. A great series there offensively. They saw an opportunity to slam the window shut, and they followed through.
Joseph on for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. A 10-play drive that time, and it's polished off by a Vikings score.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They can't do much at this point, partner. This one is going to go down in the loss column.
You don't make up for what has happened during the game. In this sequence here, maybe you hand it off and let someone run the ball if you so choose. But otherwise, just kneel down, call it a day, and try and prepare going forward.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
One last shot for Mayfield here.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.
A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League, but fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. I'd like to be those defensive coaches there. That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared, but executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.